The University of South Africa's Music Foundation is set to ignite the musical landscape with the 7th Unisa International Voice Competition. It's a prestigious event that promises to showcase the finest vocal talents from all around the world. The competition kicked off on Tuesday at the ZK Matthews Great Hall, Winnie Madikizela-Mandela building at Unisa. And the classical voice jury, it boasts an impressive panel of internationally acclaimed artists and professionals, including Sunhae Im, Eva Mei and Alberto Triola, amongst many others. So for more this morning, we're actually going to be joined here in studio by Professor of Music, Acting Director at Unisa Music Directorate, Professor Thomas Pooley. Good morning, Prof. Thanks for your time at this hour.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
What an exciting time. And I wonder, for people who don't really know, what makes this such a premier, prestigious event?
So Unisa's competitions are the only accredited World Federation events in the whole of Africa. So we're very proud to have the most prestigious opera and jazz competition on the continent. We also established as one of the top major competitions for music globally.
Okay, and I mean that impressive panel that I just alluded to as well, I mean that also boasts something. Tell us a little bit more about their contribution.
So they are critical to the process.
Yes.
We have judges from 12 different countries, from 5 different continents. And that's also true of the many competitors we have. So we have competitors from 15 nations competing for prize money of $15,000 for each classical and jazz category. So that's around 250,000 Rand first prize.
Sure. I mean, I'm just looking at the criteria as well and the key metrics that you're obviously examining, well, they'll be examining. Talk us through what that process looks like overall.
It's extremely rigorous. We get many submissions online. So they have to submit 20-minute videos to us. And then from that huge number of entries, we select only 12 to 15 in each category who come to Pretoria. They then have 4 rounds to compete. 3 rounds where they're playing with pianists, and then finally with an orchestra at the end or with a rhythm section. So it's an extremely difficult and challenging competition, and only really for mature artists.
Yeah, and I mean, this boasts also the talent that we have around the world, the new crop as well, but also it helps to hone South Africa's musical talent as well with Unisa's Music Foundation. Talk to us about that collaboration and insertion as well.
So Unisa has actually introduced national and international competitions, and that is to ensure that we nurture the talent we have, and also those winners are granted entry into the international competition.
Okay.
But we're very fortunate. We've had winners from more than 40 countries, but in the last 10 years, South Africans have begun to take a center stage. In fact, our last voice competition was won by Masabane Cecilia Rangwanasha, who's now a global opera star performing at the Metropolitan Opera. And it was this competition, really, that was one of the springboards for her. So we're very proud of our winners, local and international. Yeah,
I mean, no pressure to Team South Africa then for this year as well. But talk us a little bit more about the genres, the styles as well. I know you alluded there was classical and jazz, but tell us a little bit more about what's expected or what will come forward.
Right. So with the opera, they have to sing music from many different periods historically.
Okay.
Some of it is arias, some of it's art songs. And with the jazz, it's all kinds of different stylistic features. So it's quite diverse. With jazz, there's a lot of emphasis on improvisation.
Yes.
So that puts them on the spot. They've got to be on stage. And with singing, you're not just on your own, right? You're also with another musician. So the ensemble with the pianists that we bring is essential. And if they can succeed with that ensemble or even with the orchestra, that's a certain level of artistic maturity that we look for.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just even thinking about the practicing and the rehearsals, what's happening behind the scenes and the build-up to that. What does a typical day look like for these artists who are in the running? You're laughing. What does that mean?
So, no, it's really tough because they try to practice for hours on end. In fact, they all came several days before the competition to work with the accompanists. But when you're singing, you cannot strain your voice too much. So this is one of the difficulties, is having that balance between pushing yourself, working very hard, and performing at your best.
Yeah, because to your point, jazz, there's that improvisation expectation, but with vocal performance as well, when does innovation, when does tradition also play its part? I mean, is that also part of the key metrics when you're assessing them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So there are different components, playing standards, ballads, playing up-tempo works, playing more contemporary works. And actually what was so interesting with this jazz category is many of our competitors wrote their own music. So it was a great platform for them because it was streamed live, and we've curated those recordings which are now available to them to promote themselves.
I wonder, even if we're looking at how the competition has fared so far, the expectations for this year as well. Talk to us about what you're witnessing at this point. Also, how do people stay in touch, interact with you guys? Obviously, follow the journey of these artists, right? They are the next best thing, whether they win or not, because, as you said, it's such a rigorous process.
Yes, many of our most famous stars that have come out of South Africa have competed. And as I say to the competitors, it doesn't mean that you have to win in order to succeed. So just the experience of going through the competition is very important. However, we did actually have our finals night this weekend.
Okay.
So on Friday night, we voted as the jury well into the night to decide on the jazz winner, who was Maria del Mar Villaseca from Spain. And then yesterday evening, in fact, I only came back early this morning, it was the classical winner, who was Mwali Tsankare from Zimbabwe.
Oh, wow. Wow. And I mean, if you can tell us what they represented, what they encompassed as well. Talk to us about that journey and what stood out amongst them.
I think the way that they brought something original and new, there are many requirements in the competition which have to be met in terms of time limits, in terms of repertoire, which is very technical. But they not only met those requirements, but they did something which was wholly original. And we feel that those artists have a mature voice and have something to contribute on the world stage.
Sure, so where to from here? What happens now? They've got the prize money, but I mean, obviously performances, interacting as well, their own musical career. Where to from here for them?
Well, for Unisa, this is a lifelong relationship, actually.
Okay.
So we will have them back, both of them next year, for concert tours. Not just at Unisa, but around South Africa. They will also be teaching in our outreach programs. And we expect that in the years to come, we will see them succeed on the global stage.
Oh, Prof, I know sleep has been minimal on your part, but it's done. Classical and jazz winners have been announced. We'll leave our conversation there. Of course, our journey continues. This morning, we're joined here in studio by Acting Director at Unisa's Music Directorate, Professor Thomas Pooley. He was chatting about the 7th International Voice Competition, the winners from Spain and Zimbabwe, of course, what this also means, and really where to from here. Again, a hearty congratulations to them. And we're looking forward to what emerges, of course, as they continue to shine on the world stage.